A blown RV tire at highway speed is not a flat, it's a catastrophe. I've thoroughly researched and compared the top TPMS systems on the market, and I can tell you right now that one model under $100 outperforms sensors that cost 3 times as much. Links are in the description. Stick around, because the winner genuinely surprised me. A tire blowout at highway speed is not a bad day, it is a life or death second. And the ugly truth is that most people are one slow leak away from finding that out. A tire pressure monitoring system is the one device that stands between you and that scenario, so buying the wrong one is not just a waste of money, it is genuinely dangerous. Here is what separates the good ones: accurate sensors, fast alert times, and a display you can actually read without squinting. The cheap ones fail on all 3. I have ranked the best TPMS units you can buy right now, from the ones that cut corners in ways that will cost you, all the way up to the one I would personally trust on a long haul. Let's get into it. At $269.99, the GUTA 10-sensor TPMS is the most expensive unit on this list, and honestly, that price needs to do a lot of justifying. This is the system you buy when you're running 3 separate trailers, monitoring up to 10 tires at once, and need a display that automatically switches between front and rear sections without you touching a button. That part is genuinely impressive. It handles pressure up to 188 pounds per square inch and temperatures up to 185 degrees Fahrenheit, and the sensor battery life is rated up to 4 years with a replaceable CR2032. 6 alert modes: high pressure, low pressure, high temperature, fast leak, missing signal, low sensor battery, means it covers essentially every failure scenario. The monitor itself runs on a rechargeable internal battery that lasts 12 to 14 days on a single 4-hour charge, so the hardware is serious. Here's the problem though: most RV owners have 1 rig, not 3. You're paying for a 10-sensor multi-trailer architecture you will never use. That's not value, that's overhead. With only 290 reviews at a 4.4 rating, the real-world sample size is thin for a $270 ask. This is built for fleet operators? If that's not you, you're funding someone else's use case. But the next one? Same protection, less bloat, friendlier price. That friendlier price is the TireMinder i10, sitting at $237.69 at the time of this video. It's the reliable workhorse of this category. Not flashy, not new, but over 1,000 reviews at a 4.5-star rating tells you something real is happening here. This isn't hype, that's a track record. The i10 gives you a 3.15-inch color LCD that displays PSI and temperature simultaneously. No toggling, no guessing. It checks every single tire every 6 seconds, flagging slow leaks, rapid leaks, blowouts, high pressure, low pressure, and high temperature. Covers up to 40 tires across a range of 0 to 199 PSI, with plus or minus 1 PSI accuracy. It ships with 4 transmitters and a Rhino signal booster built in, which matters on longer rigs where cheap sensors just drop signal around the rear axles. The design is older. You can feel that looking at it. It's not going to win any awards in 2026, and the interface isn't as intuitive as some newer competitors, but if you're a full-time RVer who just wants dependable alerts without babysitting the system, the i10 earns its spot. Who should skip it? Anyone chasing a modern touchscreen experience. But if that's your priority, the next pick charges you for exactly that. So you want that touchscreen upgrade, but you don't want to spend stupid money getting it. At $87.99, the Masoll Gen 2 is the budget color display answer, and it's sitting at rank 3 on this list. Color LCD, 4 sensors included, ready to cover rigs up to 87 pounds per square inch and 120 feet of transmission distance. That range matters. A 5th wheel plus tow vehicle can stretch long, and a weak signal means missed alerts at exactly the wrong moment. The included booster is IP69 waterproof and sealed, so it lives outside without complaint. 4-level brightness adjustment means you're not squinting at a washed-out screen in afternoon sun or getting blinded at midnight. Setup is factory paired. Screw the sensors on, plug in power, done. No pairing ritual, no manual fumbling at a campground. Alarms cover high and low pressure, high temperature, fast leakage, and lost sensors. Solid checklist. Now, the trade-offs. Only 39 reviews in 2026. That's thin. The established competition has thousands of miles of real-world data behind it. This one simply doesn't yet. You're buying into potential, not a proven track record. If that uncertainty costs you sleep, spend up. But if you're budget conscious and willing to be an early adopter, the value math is hard to argue with. And speaking of hard to argue, the next pick is where the real fight begins. At $39.99, the Tymate TM7 is the best-selling TPMS on this list, and with 2,270 reviews sitting at 4.3 stars, that's not a fluke. This is the system that fits most people's actual situation. No factory, TPMS, no desire to rewire anything. Just plug into the cigarette lighter and know what your tires are doing. Done in 5 minutes. 4 external sensors, a color LCD with adjustable backlight, and a pressure range that covers everything from a sedan to a full-size RV at up to 144 psi. Temperature monitoring accurate to plus or minus 3 degrees Fahrenheit. 6 alarm modes: high pressure, low pressure, fast leak, high temp, sensor low battery, signal lost. That's real coverage. The dual USB ports built into the receiver are a surprisingly practical touch for anyone who's already short on charging outlets in the cab. Now, the trade-offs. The sensors run on CR1632 coin batteries. Replaceable, but it's a maintenance step you'll actually have to remember. And if you're towing a trailer longer than 36 feet, Tymate themselves recommend buying a separate repeater. That's an extra cost they bury in the fine print. For most drivers though, sedans, SUVs, standard RVs, this hits the target cleanly. But if you want something with a little more refinement under the hood, the next one on this list is where things get genuinely interesting. And here we are, the one that actually earns the top spot. At $24.99 at the time of this video, the Bootee Solarman USB-C TPMS is the highest rated unit on this entire list, 4.7 stars, and it also happens to be the cheapest. That combination does not happen often. Pay attention when it does. The headline feature is dual charging, solar panel on the monitor, plus a USB-C port as backup. You are genuinely never hunting for a dead screen on a Monday morning. The display is a large auto-backlit LCD showing real-time pressure and temperature across a 0 to 87 psi range, which covers sedans, SUVs, trucks, and light RVs without blinking. 4 external sensors clip onto your valve stems, and the system throws 6 separate alarm types at you: low pressure, high pressure, fast leak, high temperature, low sensor battery, and signal loss. That last one matters more than people realize. Most cheap units go silent when a sensor dies. This one tells you. Sensors run on CR1632 batteries rated up to 6 months per charge. Now the trade-offs. 27 reviews is a thin sample, so treat the 4.7 stars as a promising early signal, not a settled verdict. Check the verified purchase feedback before you commit, but for the price, the feature density here is almost unfair. Links are in the description. So, let's put them all on the table. Budget end, fewer sensors, basic alert modes, usually one charging method, magnetic or USB, rarely both. Step up to the mid-tier and you get redundant sensors plus app connectivity, but charging versatility is still hit or miss. The top picks here combine multiple detection methods, multi-mode alerts, and dual charging, so a dead battery doesn't leave you exposed. Price spread matters too. The gap between the weakest and strongest option on this list isn't small, and the cheapest one quietly costs you where it counts most. False negatives. If you're protecting one room casually, the lower rungs are fine. If you need reliable whole-home coverage with real alert flexibility, the difference in price is almost trivial compared to what you're actually protecting. The rankings reflect exactly that math. So here's where we land. The budget picks do a job, just not the whole job. Gaps in coverage, limited alert options, firmware that fights you. Fine for a weekend camper, not fine for full-time RV life. Step up the ladder and the value gets real fast. But the number one, most of you scrolled past it, assuming the price meant compromise. It doesn't. It's the one that covers what you actually need, not what looks impressive in a spec sheet. Reliable range, honest alerts, zero babysitting. That's the whole game. Links are in the description. Links to every gauge are in the description. Current prices, no guesswork. Drop your worst tire pressure story in the comments. I read them. Subscribe if you want the next test. We're already working on it.